Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's your girl Boss Nene. I'm back with another video. Drink some water. Y'all make sure y'all tap that like button so I can push this content out and subscribe to the channel if you getting anything from it, But I came on today to talk about, your family is the curse. Let's just get straight to the point. Like, ain't even no point even trying to play. Your family is the curse. Why you think it's called a generational curse? And I'm not talking about the family as a whole or whatever the case may be. So if you take it personal, then maybe I'm talking about you. Let me put that out there. But yeah, I'm just sitting back thinking like growing up, like, and then too, especially like in the black community, and this goes on in all nationalities as well. But I'm just thinking of the black community, how we was, you had all these ways and behaviors and stuff passed down all the way back from slavery, because it just kept going, and like black people were still, like recovering from that. So, a lot of these teachers and the way people was taught and stuff, coming off all that survival and stuff like that, you pick up, things that wasn't even for you. All these crazy ways of living. I believe that's why a lot of black people lack emotional intelligence. I feel like that's something that wasn't taught in the community and stuff like that. So all what I'm saying is all goes back a long way too at the same time. But, you know, your family is the curse. Because I'm just thinking to me, like, when I was growing up, I always knew something was wrong, but I never had, like, the words from it for it. Like, why is we so close? Like, the way I was raised up, everybody was close. Like, even, like, living, like, in the projects, it kind of is what it is, but, like, literally, like, my mama and her sisters all lived on the same block, like one house apart and all that and stuff like that, and just all in the same area, and then like events, birthdays and stuff like that, it was always just like my immediate family, like my mother, her sisters, and the cousins, and we was always raised close. And I used to always just think like, oh, I just come from a close-knit family or whatever the case may be. But it go deeper than that, because it's like, it's okay to meet new people. It's like you don't have to be afraid of new places, new people, new things, or nothing like that. But growing up like that, like, I barely like even had like outside friends. Like I had a few, but like all my friends was like my cousins. And coming up, that's kind of how it go. Like when you real young, but as you get older and stuff like that, you start to like branch off and stuff like that. But like that wasn't really happening. Like, yeah, when I think about it, I always like hung with my cousins and stuff like that. And not to say it's nothing wrong with being like close to your family and stuff, but when it's too close, it's an issue, because I just feel like it's as the older I get, I feel like it was just a control thing. Cause I'm even thinking like when I moved, it's like, man, I was like, people don't say it out loud, but you could feel the energy. Like I was almost outcast. I had people saying like, why you want to move that far and leave your family, or hoping things. Like if I get into some trouble out here, it's almost like that. Get them a self-esteem boost. Like I told you, it'll fail, or something like that of that sort. So it's like, I mean, being close to your family ain't nothing wrong with that, but when you too close, you need to take a step back and look, cause it's like, even out of town, like I had like it's family members I know that live in the same vicinity as the family and can't get no help. So at that point, it's like you want me to be stay around you, what, to look at each other? And then you ain't even doing that half the time because we all out here surviving, working, paying bills. So 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna see you like that no way. I ain't, and then, and as we get older, we get our own man. When we not kids no more, we start to do the things we want to do. And that's a part of like branching off. But it's like, it shouldn't feel like a betrayal to have your own man, do your own things. Like me, myself, as I got on my own and I started learning stuff, more and more stuff, like I stopped celebrating holidays. Like I done been through the Bible. I don't see nowhere where it say, celebrate holidays. I don't get it. So it's like stuff like that. It's okay to experiment. It's okay to venture off. We supposed to break these curses. And two, I wanted to say, the older you get, people older than you, yes, they do come with wisdom because they been through it already, been through stuff already, but they don't know it all. You know, it says that the generation's supposed to get better and better and better. And I think the problem is the last generation don't be wanting to let the next generation grow. They want to see you do good, but not better than them, pretty much. So that's like, you would think people would be proud of you for growing and developing, but your growth shows how they settled, I would say, in so many ways. Maybe like living with regrets, and instead of looking in, they start projecting onto you. So it's like a constant fight out here, like to just, be yourself. And then too, when I was like me being raised in the close knit family and stuff like that, like I would always I always heard the word we, like we, like it was never no I, like we, like who is we? Like you could be talking to one person and they turn around and say we, like where's the I, me, myself. And I just think a lot of times these people didn't even see you as a separate person. You just a extension to them in their eyes. So yeah, that's why it's kind of hard, like to find yourself, and you start losing your self identity and stuff like that when you raised like that. So you just gotta be mindful. You just gotta be mindful of what you're dealing with and stuff like that. And you got to be the black sheep to break the curse. You're gonna be hated. Smear campaigns. I done been through so many smear campaigns. It don't make no sense. I'm the truth teller. I always tell the truth. Like if something wrong is wrong. I'm not finna sit here and accept no lie. That's just never been me. It ain't in my personality. That's the God in me. All praises to the Most High. So, yeah, learn how to put eye in your mouth a little more. And that's how we end up, like, getting out in the world and getting in these, attracting these same type of relationships, devaluing our own self because we taught to please. You know, please is caring, but that's not true. Respect, self-respect. And you got to know who you are as a whole separate person, because you is not your family, and it's okay to grow. It's okay to isolate. It's okay to focus on yourself. you know it's your turn. So I mean, I'm a rebel. I always been. I love it here. I've learned so much. I learned so much, it's crazy. I'm the lone wolf. So yeah, it's time to break them generational curses. It's like eat the meat and spit out the bones. You do learn a lot of stuff from your elders and stuff like that, but the world study changing. Things getting different, stuff moving different. It's okay to be different. So man, just y'all stay blessed out there.